Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Liquid Red versus Mouse Tosh, excuse me. Mouse Tosh, not OGS. Mouse Tosh here on Shakuras Plateau. So Mouse Tosh spawning as the blue Protoss player on the north side of the map. Meanwhile, we have Red spawning over here at the what I'll call the 5 o'clock position as the Red Zerg. So Zerg versus Protoss here on Shakuras Plateau. Should be a great game. Looking forward to casting it and watching it with you guys. Now, Happy New Year to all of you guys who are watching this on the following day. I am casting this on the 31st, and I hope to be making an announcement sometime soon. It should be pretty exciting for you guys, and then you guys will be able to just simply wait in anticipation even after the excitement or after the announcement, as I will be making many additional announcements after that as well, and making a lot more videos. Anyways, back over here, Tosh now moving out with the scouting probe. We'll be able to come up this ramp in just a moment and be able to take a look at this starting location here, realizing that Red is not here at the 2 o'clock location, and then we'll quickly head south. Back over here, Tosh is currently opening up with a pretty standard build so far. I'm interested to see if he's going to go for a forge first or for a gateway first. Back over here, we already have the spawning pool nearing completion. So Red will be able to train up a lot of Zerglings in just a moment, and I think that will catch Tosh off guard if Red is trying to save up some of those Zerglings, and in fact he is. This is a 10 pool, so now in comes that spawning pool. He should be training up 3 Zerglings in just a moment, or sorry, 6 Zerglings in just a moment. Wait for it, there we go, now training up those Zerglings. Probe now coming in, and now this is going to be a problem. So we already see probes coming down the ramp, and now over here quickly trying to set up more buildings. I don't know why he needed 3 probes, but he is now trying to set up those probes in this position down over here, making sure that this wall off is completed. And there you go, Tosh is going to be relatively safe from this very aggressive pool play coming in from Red. So Red now training up more Zerglings and also getting a queen, also sending a drone down in order to head to this low ground location. We see that the probe already did take some damage. Those Zerglings are going to try to walk up that ramp and quickly will find that gateway and forge is already up and running. So will those Zerglings be able to get enough damage anywhere is going to be the key question. Yes, there are those Zerglings trying to peck away at this one forge. The photon cannon will be able to warp in, I believe. Yes, it will need only 20 seconds of time to finish warping in. Will those Zerglings be able to get this cannon down, or this forge down, is a critical question, as we now see a drone may grow up to be a hatchery over here. So the Zerglings still trying to peck away. It looks like it will become very, very close, as the photon cannon is now going to be finishing warping in. It is now coming online, and down goes that forge. So the forge is down, and the Zerglings are in this low ground location and will be able to stop a nexus from being built. So that will be very, very critical. Does the photon cannon? Yes, the photon cannon does have enough range. And now that Zealot is coming out to engage, the Zealot will be able to finish off those 2 Zerglings very easily, as one probe now makes it way across the map, perhaps to try to set up a pylon here and to start doing its own cannon rush. Back over here, we do see an Overlord in the air, and now what will this probe do? The probe wandering around on the inside, and it looks like it may be trying to set up a pylon here in order to warp in some cannons just outside of range. And now in comes that one pylon, a queen now making its way over, and now just simply waiting there. But back over here, the Zealots was able to take down those 2 Zerglings, and nicely done. Red still does not see that he is getting cannon rushed, so this is going to be a problem as that pylon comes online. He will be able to warp in, and now in comes that probe. The probe is now just wandering around, not quite sure what he's doing with that one probe. I do not know why that pylon is even there, and down goes the probe. That was a horrible mistake by Tosh. Red now knows that there is that pylon over there and needs to take it down. I do not see a Cybernetics core anywhere nearby, so that is not going to be any warp in play. So what exactly was Tosh thinking by getting that one pylon in this position and not finishing it up? And he may have forgotten that the forge was not completed, or that his forge was taken down earlier, and with no photon cannons in play, that will just be a pylon that sits there and will get taken down eventually by queens and Zerglings. So those queens and Zerglings now making their way over here, gonna have absolutely no problem, no photon cannons even on that low ground, as those Zerglings are now pecking away at that pylon. Down it goes, and Tosh loses another 100 minerals. So losses so far, 250 more for Tosh. However, if you take a look at the harvester count, you can see that really Tosh is a little bit ahead. He has the stronger economy But with now Red trying to power drone, and as soon as that spawn larva completes, they should be able to just power drone up and get a stronger economy in just a moment. 4 Zerglings with a spine crawler able to take down that one probe as it tries to come in. We do see a Nexus now currently being warped in as well, as this front door is nearly completed. We do see one Zealot sitting at this location here trying to hold off any swarms of Zerglings. Those Zerglings are going to be able to at least try to test the waters, but those photon cannons will be able to deal a lot of damage. There you go, one Zergling already killed before it was even able to deal any real damage, as now both players are currently running off of 2 bases, and now you see Red is ahead. Oh wow, I got my colors confused a little bit earlier. Red is really ahead now, sitting at 37 harvesters compared to 27, so he did power drone, and during the beginning portion of the game he sat at 10 food, so that's why I thought he was behind economically. But no, Red is in a significant advantage now and continuing to power drone, getting 5 more drones now, and now going for a Hydralisk Den. So Hydralisk Den range of 5, then upgraded to a range of 6, and now we are getting into perhaps 40 harvesters. Yeah, 41 harvesters, 44 harvesters already for Red, and he is already establishing a 3rd base. So Red being able to expand all across the map now and getting a very, very strong economic lead. He will be able to transfer some drones over in just a minute. We do see a Void Ray now coming online, and as this creep highway is starting to be built, I believe Red is going to be able to push his advantage even further. The Hydralisk will have the Groove Spine upgrades. It doesn't take very long to research that, and with the creep highway already spread out, those Hydralisks move 50% faster on creep than a Void Ray, so they will be able to shoot them and take them down. Void Rays also do not deal that much damage, or do not deal bonus damage against a Hydralisk, as they are not armored units, so only 6 damage, 6 damage per attack when it's not fully charged, and then 10 damage per attack when it is. So in comes this Void Ray now. The Void Ray now making the trek over. I believe it was spotted or will be spotted by Ret. Yeah, Ret does see that this one Void Ray is currently coming in, and I believe that one Void Ray will just simply get shot down. Hydralisks already making their way over here, and in comes this Void Ray. The Hydralisks want to back off just a little bit in order to see if that Void Ray tries to get too close, and now in comes it, tries to charge up that Void Ray. Void Ray now taking damage, already almost getting past those shields already, and now taking a little bit of critical damage, now down to losing 8 hit points there, and now out moves this Phoenix. The Phoenix is now trying to take down the Overlords. The Overlords do have that movement speed upgrade, as the Void Ray now tries to come in and will be able to deal a lot of damage towards that one Overlord. Hydralisks need to make their way down over in order to shoot it down, and now that Phoenix able to finish it off, and that Void Ray will be able to back off once again. That one Void Ray didn't want to take down these unburrowed creep tumors just quite yet, and now backs off once again. We now see one Overlord sitting over here. We have 2 Phoenixes in the air, and we'll be able to finish off this one Overlord. Even though the Overlord does have that movement speed upgrade, it doesn't matter, as those Phoenixes move at almost 3 times the speed and is able to attack and move at the same time. Zerg is now trying to run away from that one Void Ray. Void Ray once again on the chase. Void Ray, the Protoss fleet is 2 of the races that actually can move and attack while in the air. So I believe as the game progresses, that is something that a Protoss is going to be able to abuse even further and use to their advantage. Hydralisk now trying to give chase. However, Hydralisk off of creep are the same movement speed as a Void Ray and will not be able to get any damage. Now back over here, in comes some Phoenixes. The Phoenixes may go after the Overlord here, but there is one Queen trying to offer some protection. So in comes those Phoenixes. Phoenixes getting some damage dealt, and now Graviton beaming the drone instead of Gravitoming the Queen over there, and now getting even more damage, and in comes more Hydralisk. Hydralisk being backed off, and Tosh doing a great job of somehow keeping Ret inside his base, even though he has he has a stronger army, but he doesn't have nearly the same amount of economy, as Ret is now sitting on 73 harvesters, 10 corruptors now being produced. So those corruptors are going to be able to counter both those Void Rays, those Phoenixes, and the Colossi that are being trained now. Back over here, we are still at tier 2, no upgrade to tier 3 just quite yet, no infestation pit, no infestors coming in, but those corruptors do have a decent amount of range, and that is what's going to make them stronger against those Phoenixes, especially as corruptors have a base armor of 2, making that Phoenixes the Phoenix damage go from 10 down to 6. Hydralisk now coming in almost, yeah, able to take down one of those Phoenixes. So the harassment is now being contained. We now see the movement speed upgrade for those Roaches in addition to the Hydralisk movement, or Hydralisk still being trained up as well. The Zerg flyer attack now coming online as another hatchery being laid down. So Red doing a good job just trying to spread and just trying to mass expand like every good Zerg player should do. That creep highway enabling those Hydralisks, those very, very high DPS units to get over into battle very quickly. On top of that, Zerglings have a movement speed of 6 on creep with the metabolic boost, and Roaches have a movement speed of nearly 4. Back over here, Phoenix is once again just picking off many of those overlords, and Red is going to start having higher losses. But if you take a look at the income tab, you can see how much of an advantage Red really has. Every game minute, we're having about a 500 advantage, and now in come those Roaches and those Hydralisks. They do have the level 1 weapons upgrade, now researching level 2 as a pylon, and now a Nexus currently trying to be worked in. Tosh going to lose this expansion very quickly as Corruptors, Roaches, and now Hydralisks making their way down over here. Roach is going to quickly pick this off over here, and this Phoenix may be able to finish off that one Overlord, but that is about it. No, unable to finish it off as those Hydralisks able to finish this down, and now this is going to be a problem. These backdoor rocks have already been taken down. Stalkers, 2 or 3 Colossi are going to be the key to this battle. There is the level 1 weapons upgrade, so they will be dealing 34 damage per swipe, and now deciding to back off. So I guess he is waiting on some infestors. As this army now moves out, you can see that Tosh is currently supply locked, 130 over 124. Now getting another pylon. One Roach down over here will quickly get taken down. Down it goes. An Overlord trying to test the waters, and now those Colossi with them standing tall will be able to see up onto this high ground very easily, waiting for those Corruptors to come back in. We do see a lot of Hydralisks, and that splash damage is going to come in, and now Corruptors coming in from the back. Corruptors doing a lot of damage. Force Fields coming in as well, so the Force Field is preventing a lot of that damage back in. However, the Corruptors are just simply contaminating or corrupting those Colossi, and now taking down many of those Void Rays. Void Rays are getting picked apart once again, and now in comes the Swarm. The Swarm now moving back out and dealing a lot of damage. Roach is able to move very, very quickly and was able to pick off many of those units. Zealots now being warped in as well. No force field on that back ramp, and that is going to be a problem as those Corruptors are just now starting to contaminate, or starting to corrupt those units on the ground, causing them to take even more damage. There is one Colossus trying to come in, but those 6 Corruptors will be able to finish that one Colossus very, very easily as that Hydras now tries to move back in. But this is going to be a problem as those Hydras, not all of them are dealing damage. Hydras need to slowly move up onto that high ground as Tosh has a very decent arch at this situation. So Hydras continue to push in. Probes coming off the mineral line here as we are now getting Hydras trying to come in on the front door. So backside in the Stalkers are starting to gain the upper hand, but the Hydras on the front door now able to finish off many of those photon cannons, and now we'll be able to finish that off. And now the Hydra simply able to walk into this base, dealing a lot of damage, and Tosh says GG. Nicely done and nicely played by Ret versus Tosh here on both sides, but Ret just expanding out, putting a lot of aggression very early on, and then with this crazy macro expanding into 4 bases, a mere 18 game minutes into this, was able to take this one. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Ret versus Tosh here on Shakuras Plateau.